Hey everybody, Bigfoot, Michigan, Rob here. I've got another subscriber emailed in encounter story for you. Now this is Tuesday, and you guys, I normally do this on Saturday, but Saturday was a big weekend, a lot of family activity, so I do apologize for that. This is a cool story. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? The format's a little different today. I typically read this right off the email, but BMR, yeah, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to tell the story as though we're sitting around the campfire. And yes, I'm going to use my memory. I've read this thing like 10 times. And so instead of reading, I'm going to recite it. Leave a comment if you like this format or you want to tell me, you know what, Rob, just continue to read them. This shouldn't be too long. It's pretty cool. I don't know if this is a Dogman or what, but I found this tale to be different, creepy. I don't know. In fact, it comes from Tom and Mary in Southwest Georgia, and they totally want to remain anonymous. This happens in 2015. They were recently retired, so they want to get a retirement place. They found a place, again, in Southwest Georgia, about 3 acres of property. The property was a horseshoe style. In fact, the home itself was kind of like a ranch style home with big wraparound deck. And there also was a barn on the property, a dilapidated barn that Tom and Mary decided they didn't spend no time in there. They looked at it. They're going to tear it down is what they had decided. So the first year, Tom and Mary are cultivating their property, making it the way they like to make it. The following year in the evening, Tom and Mary are sitting on their back porch on their nice wraparound deck. At the top of the horseshoe, Tom is looking and says to Mary, "Do you see what appears to be like a set of eyes?" They were glowing. Tom describes it as being greenish yellow eyes, kind of right at the top of the horseshoe, right inside the tree line. The eyes are like 3 feet above ground, but they're like an amber greenish color, yellow. Mary's like, "No, that's weird," and they hadn't seen anything like that. Now, I don't know. He does not say what type of animals around here, but made mention that it was weird. So Tom gets up, he goes into the home, gets a set of binoculars. Again, this is nighttime, and he couldn't see much. He just honed in and did see a set of eyes. But then Tom all of a sudden notices that the eyes that were 3 feet from ground level, they rise up maybe another 3 feet, and the eyes are now through the binoculars getting closer. He tells to Mary, "Hey, honey, not to alarm you, just let's get in the house." She gets in the house. Tom gets in the house. Tom goes and grabs a shotgun and locks down all the doors, windows, what have you. He looks out the back toward the top of the tree line. These eyes are, yes, getting closer. But then all of a sudden, the eyes fade away. About 5-6 minutes, according to Tom, he feels something or somebody walking on his wraparound deck. But the eerie thing about the walking on this deck is this. Every time that the foot hit the ground, he could feel a scraping along the outside of his deck. Tom is looking out. He can't see anything. This goes on, Tom says, for maybe 20, 30 seconds. Tom gets out on his back porch, takes his shotgun, and fires a blast into the air. Goes back in the house, doesn't hear anything. The footsteps, the footfall, the scraping disappears. He goes out onto the deck an hour later, and he takes out a flashlight and sees 3 scrapes haphazardly about the deck. They were not in a uniform line or anything. They were just sporadic throughout the deck, but they were like long scrapes into the deck that went down, as he describes, about maybe a 1/4 inch deep into this wood. The next morning, Tom goes outside, and and kind of looks, and he picks up a couple sets of tracks, which were like three-toed tracks, prints, coming up from the top of the horseshoe toward the house. For whatever reason, Tom decides now to go investigate the barn. He had only been in it once or twice, something he was not interested in. He goes in the barn, and in the barn was laid with dirt and a bunch of hay. Kind of had a smell to it. He's scraping around, and all of a sudden, as he's walking, he trips over something. He gets up, looks, starts uncovering the dirt, the hay, and he finds a bunch of deer bones. He said he saw like the leg bones, some rib cages, but not a head or anything, and just found that to be pretty creepy. Goes back to the house. Now he calls a local law enforcement to come out. Law enforcement comes out. They see the tracks, the three-toe tracks in the ground, and they saw the claw marks on his deck. And the sheriff or deputy, whoever it was, the law enforcement person, says, this place was on the market for such a long time because we've heard some weird stories about here about something at night that would come out and just roam the house, walk around the house, but nothing quite to the extent of leaving claw marks on the deck. And Tom took that for what it was worth. Tom has since said that nothing has happened since. He says he still lives there. He has not seen the eyes in the background or anything, thinking that perhaps the shotgun blast scared whatever this creature was off, but he still wonders about the bones in the shed, or the barn, I should say. The barn has been torn down. Life goes on. To this day, does not know what it was. It only happened once. And again, that's where the story ends. And I believe this story, it's not like this turned into, it happens now every day. You hear a lot of stories sometimes where things like this happen on a daily basis. This is a one-time deal. The eyes 3 feet above ground that rise in advance, the three toes, the gouging out on his wraparound deck, and the bones in the barn makes you wonder, I don't know. A shotgun blast to me is not going to scare something off permanently, but according to Tom, has not had a problem since. So he said in that story, I thought it was pretty cool to share. Again, I'm remembering. I didn't read this one. Let me know what you think about this. I thought it was okay. Next Saturday, stay tuned. I'll come out with another encounter tale from a subscriber. Their email. Let me know. Leave in the comments if you like this. Tuesday, Dave Scott, Space Out Radio. He's going to be on my show. We're going to talk to Woo. That's noon. I'm with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. Have a great day, and see you when I see you. Thanks.